Hey guys, it's Lucas Gaylord, and I'm here with a video about the XYZ extra deck, and I'm going to propose you with my controversial, it's probably gonna be controversial, deck list, or for specifically the extra deck. So we're not gonna focus on the main deck nor the side deck. So yeah, so first off, we're gonna see what each of them does, and then you're gonna go over with what people have been playing. So yeah, here we have XYZ Dragon Cannon, and that's the main boss monster. That's a monster that you would ideally always want to summon, but the problem is that it requires Y, Z, and X. So it's harder to summon, but it has the effect that if you discard, you can target and destroy any card that your opponent controls. So yeah, that's the best effect, and it has also the best stats. So that's the monster that you ideally want to summon the most. Next off, we have YZ, and this one it only destroys face down monsters, but you can see how relevant that is if you face off against, for example, Apprentice Magician, Old Vindictive Magician, all those flip effects. So it's useful against them, but most importantly, that's the fusion that you're gonna have the most access to, because it only requires Y and Z, and those can be easily searched with Union Hanger. With Union Hanger, you search for Y with and then as soon as you summon Y, you equip Z. So you're gonna have the most access to this fusion. So this is why it has more priority over the others. Next off, we have XC, and this one, it destroys a face down spell or trap. Now that's a really decent effect, and it also has a really good stat, 24, which is a lot better than the YZ, but it's harder to summon because it requires X, and the only way that you're gonna have X is that if you use Foolish Burial or if you normal summon. So you have to either draw X or draw Foolish Burial. And then we have a similar case with XY. Now this one destroys only face-up spell or traps, and the only cards that would matter for that effect are probably Zoma, the Magnetic Field. So those are examples, but again, this one is harder to summon because it requires X, and it doesn't have any good stat that the XZ has for attack or defense. So people don't like this one that much, but it still sees play because sometimes this is the only fusion that you have access to at the moment. So yes, you can have X and equip Y, and you have a similar monster. But if they're in the graveyard, you want to use your skill and then have a new monster out of Graveyard Father. So that's why people are playing this one, even though not many people like it. But yeah, so these are the deck list. So the first person that we know has been playing with XYZ unions is Ninjati. He's been playing them since the expanded card pool. Sure, the card pool that we had was a lot different, but Ninjati has been playing with XYZ Union since the box leaked. So shout out to him and for all his contributions to the deck. So yeah, this is the first tournament. This was Kursov's third tournament, and he got to top 8. Now we can see that he played 2 XYZs, the boss monster, 2 YZs, because that's the one that you have the most access to, and then one of each, one XY and one XZ. So that was his extra deck, and a lot of people agree with that extra deck because they agree that you want more than one XYZ Dragon Cannon. You want more than one YZ because it's the easiest to summon, and it also has a good stat line, like, and also the effect is very decent. And then lastly, you have and then lastly, people want to play one of each. So that's like the standard extra deck. Then after that, we have the Otohi Cup, and now we have Danik, who got first place. And this one was different because he played only one copy of XYZ Dragon Cannon for a second copy of XZ. Now the reason may be that because it's easier to summon XC than XYZ, so I can see where he's going. So this has been the alternative, the Nick special extra deck that differs from the ones that we're gonna see. But yeah, it just basically changes one XYZ for one XC. And then we had Ryan, who got first place with his deck in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy Battle City box test. So yes, we have to take into consideration that it was a testing tournament. We don't know how many competent players he played, but still we can see that the extra deck, it resembles a lot like Ninjati's. Oh, it's the exact same one as Ninjati's. So yeah, then we had Otohi Cup, which has the exact same extra deck that Ninjati had. So yeah, and now we're jumping to the list from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy single elimination. This one was for 8 players, and we have this is the deck list for Gian. He got first place, but he also got second place in a 16-player single elimination, losing to Tensei with his Odeon deck. But yeah, we can see he still plays with that extra deck. And then lastly, we had Danik, who got first place with his own extra deck. So yeah, those are the deck lists that we have. Just one more that I want to show you, and it's the one that I used for we had a sealed tournament that we actually called the XYZ Union Mirror Match Tournament because that's what most people played. This was my deck, and here's the difference. I played 3 XYZ Dragon Cannon, and the reason I did this mainly because I wasn't paying attention to what people were playing. So in my head I was like, okay, I think that 3 XYZ Dragon Cannon is the best way to go. And then I went with one of each. So after the tournament, I have to say that I came to a different conclusion, but one similar to this. And this is where I make the controversial extra deck for unions. So this is the controversial. Let's see. Let me get to here. So this is gonna be my controversial extra deck for union. So I'm gonna go with, and this is what's controversial about it, 3 XYZ Dragon Cannon. Now the reason I want to go with 3 XYZ Dragon Cannon is because I think that's the best boss monster, and I think anything less than that might not win you the game. You have to take into consideration that yes, sometimes it only takes 1 XYZ Dragon Cannon to win the game, but you have to consider that in game 2 and game 3 you have to compete against Lost Wind. and your opponent is gonna have counters against you. So they're probably gonna have also Book of Moon. They can do Sphere Karibo and then Inner Conflict. So it's a matchup that you know you're gonna be losing your XYZ Dragon Cannons, and I've seen that sometimes. Once you beat the second XYZ Dragon Cannon, it's over for the XYZ Dragon Cannon player. And I get that, okay, like sometimes like it's not gonna come up, so it's not always that you're gonna need all three. But when you get like this is my experience from what I've seen from the games I've played in the CL tournament. So once you have two XYZ Dragon Cannon, like what else can you do? So the options are decent, but still like it feels like you still come up short. So, and then the last thing I want to say is that like if you have XC, if you have XC, sometimes it's as easy to summon an XC from an XYZ. And why is that? It's because once you have the setup, once everything is set up for Union Scramble can give you at least 4 pieces, because it special summons 3 of the pieces, but it also adds 1 from the banish to your hand. So I can argue that in late game you have equal access with XYZ Dragon Cannon than XC or XY, and because of that I opted to play 3, and this is what's controversial. Now I play only 1 XC because sometimes it comes up, sometimes you don't have the full setup, and this is a great monster. It has good defense and it has a really good attack. I like the effect. So yeah, XC I play 1. It's very useful. And now YZ, which is the one that I said people have the most access to because of Union Hanger, I play 2. So why do I play 2? Because again, people have the most access to this one. It's easier to summon with just Union Hanger. So I play 2 of them, and I play none of the other. I would play none of the other, which is this one. Yes, I wish I had it, because sometimes I don't have the setup and I have to fight with what I have. But I prefer to go with 2 of these and 3 of these. And I think I'm gonna miss these ones, like the second YZ or the third XYZ, more than I'm gonna miss the XY. And so yeah, that's my video basically. But I want to show the last deck list that Ninjati posted. So he went with Danik's deck list for the extra deck. So that's where his mind is headed. So I don't know who's correct, if I'm correct, if Danik is correct, if everyone else is correct. I don't think there's a correct answer, because these are situational cards. The only thing I'm very confident that it is incorrect is that you play in your side deck a fusion. For me, that's very incorrect. Like I think the side deck is very important. So no, I'm not. Don't do that. As long as you don't do that, you're fine. But yeah, this is my extra deck. I hope you enjoyed. Should you listen to Lucas Gaylord? I don't know. If you listen to me and then you lose, then that's on you. I don't care. So you deserve it for listening to me. But if you win, then that's cool. But yeah, anyways, thank you very much, and I'll see you later.